everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. Today, this is Christmas Under the Stars by Swan. So, don't let the title fool you. While there is a side of this story that is Christmassy and cheesy, the other side can get quite dark. I'm just going to get straight in with that blurb and tell you what I thought of this story. Worlds apart, a love without limit. In the snow-topped mountains of the Canadian Rockies, Meg and Mitch are living their dream. Just weeks away from their wedding, they work and play with Tuck and Lucy, their closest and oldest friends. Meg and Lucy are as close as sisters, much to Meg's actual sister's dismay, and Tuck and Mitch have successfully turned their passion for snowboarding into a booming business. But when a polar storm hits, tragedy strikes. Alone in the tiny mountain log cabin that she shares with Mitch, Meg desperately tries to radio for help, and it comes from the most unexpected quarter, a lone voice across the airwaves that sees what she cannot. As the snow melts and they try to live with their loss, the friendship Meg thought was forever is buckled by tensions, rivalries, and devastating secrets. Nothing is as she thought, and only her radio contact understands what is to be truly alone. As they share confidences in the dark, witnessed only by the stars, Meg feels her future begin to pull away from her past and is forced to consider a strange truth. Is it her friends who are the strangers, and a stranger who really knows her best? So this is 374 pages in family sagas, lifestyle, travel, romance and contemporary. As I said, this gets dark. It's done from the point of view of Meg throughout the book. You do also get little chapters from Lucy, and basically you're trying to kind of figure out like who is likeable and who isn't, especially through Lucy's sections as you look in at this friendship and that relationship. So you've got Meg and Mitch at the beginning of the book. They're not far off their wedding day, but you're aware that they're not entirely happy. You know that there's something going on in the background, but you don't know what. And then there is a massive snowstorm. Tuck, Lucy's husband, which is Meg's best friend, tells Mitch that there are some teenagers that have gone missing in the storm, and basically they're just looking for people to help and trying to find these kids before they're lost to this storm. So Mitch, being the guy that he is, was just there going, I'm going to go out and look for them. Meg is there kind of begging him not to go and saying like maybe you should just wait for the official people to do it. You know, if you go out there's a chance that even you might not make it back. And Mitch is just there going, you know, give me 4 hours. If you haven't heard from me in 4 hours, then call search and rescue. Do what you need to do. And so that 4-hour mark hits and Meg realises that Mitch hasn't come back. And she has no way of contacting anybody because of the storm. It's cut off the phone lines. All she has is like the little speakers and things. I don't actually know what they're officially called. It's kind of like what search and rescue use, like up in the mountains and stuff, to talk to each other. And Meg does not know how to use this system at all. And she's just there like dialing numbers and things and just speaking, going, hello, is there anyone out there who can help me? And miraculously, she does manage to get a signal from someone, and that person is a man called Jonas, who is working on the International Space Station. You do have your Christmas cheese in there, so Meg is talking to this guy, Jonas, at the International Space Station. He's there going like, yeah, I can see the storm, I'm going to try and get to search and rescue for you. Mitch is lost to the storm. That is the tragedy that hits at the beginning of the book. He dies. It happens at the very beginning of the story, so this is not a spoiler. So then Meg is there dealing with how much her life changed on that one single night when her best friend's husband told Mitch to go out into the storm to find these 2 teenagers. The teenagers actually turn up safe and sound, which means that Meg, throughout the majority of the book, feels like it's Tuck's fault that Mitch died that night. So yeah, this, as well as having the cheesy side of the Christmas story with Meg creating this friendship with this guy up on the International Space Station. There's conversations, they email each other, and you just see how Meg's life changes after that singular night. You do also have a story unfolding on the other side between Tuck and Lucy as you're looking at their relationship, and you realise that their marriage isn't what it seems. Throughout the chapters you find out that Lucy has bruises in her body, Tuck has been cheating on Lucy quite a lot, and basically there's a lot in regards to emotional abuse, a little bit of physical abuse as well. So if that is a trigger for you, please do your own research and decide whether this is a book that you can handle or not, because it gets dark real quick in that side of the story. You've got the Christmas Under the Stars, Meg and Jonas getting to know each other, looking at Meg's relationship with her sister, and then you've also got this other relationship that you're looking at with Lucy and Tuck, and how dark that side of it is. It does all come together. There are times when it almost feels a bit like, you know when you're watching stuff like Love Actually, where you've got like all these different stories and you're seeing how they all come together. That's kind of what like this book is. You feel like you've got a few different stories happening, and then at the end you realise, oh actually there is a connection that brings all of this together, and it wasn't unnecessary, because there were times as I was reading it I was just thinking, this seems like it could have been told in maybe a slightly shorter story. I feel like there were times where I just thought, is this really, did this need to be as long as it is? But then as it came to the end, it was like, oh no, all this was absolutely necessary to where we got at the end. It has the cheesy Christmas side while also having that dark undertone in regards to Tuck and Lucy's relationship, and then also Meg figuring out her relationship with Lucy and figuring out that relationship with her sister, because her sister and Lucy have never really gotten on. And yeah, it's basically about Meg finding herself after the death of her husband, and the blame that she lays on people, and realising that she feels kind of stuck in this town, and any time it feels like there's an opportunity for her to kind of move on, there's always somebody to bring her back. And it's just like, in my mind I was fighting for Meg. I was just like, there are some toxic relationships happening here, and this girl really needs to kind of put her head back on her shoulders and figure out what she wants to do, and not let the people around her pause her life and make her feel stuck. Yeah, this was a really good story. You've got a really nice cheesy romance side of it, as well as having that slightly darker bit, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Though there were times as I was reading it, I was just thinking, is all of this backstory necessary? And you know, could this have been told a little bit quicker? But then as everything started to come out and you do get that bit of a twist towards the end of the story, and I was just there going, oh wait, no, this was all absolutely necessary. It wouldn't have made as much sense if anything had been left out. So yeah, have I even shown you the front cover? Christmas Under the Stars. It's got a very, very cheesy Christmas front cover. I could imagine this as like a Channel 5 Christmas movie. In America it would be the Hallmark, but I think to be a proper cheesy Christmas movie they really would have to tone down the Lucy and Tuck story, because of how dark that gets. But it was very entertaining, and especially in those last 100 pages or so, I was like going back to checking, hang on a second, wait, what just happened? And I just read it really, really quickly. I think overall I did this book in about 3 days. I just thought it was really good. It had that cheesy Christmas side while also having that slightly darker storyline to kind of keep you on your toes, and it kind of tapped into kind of like the mystery side of things, which we all know I absolutely love a good mystery. Got deeper into that mystery side, it was just like, oh, this isn't going quite where I thought it was going to go, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Because when I first read it, I was just thinking, does this really feel as festive? Just because it's got Christmas in the title, does it actually feel very Christmassy? But it's the fact that it starts off with a snowstorm, and then by the end of the book, you're back at Christmas again. So it does feel like something that could be put into a kind of a cheesy Christmas film. Christmas Under the Stars, Karen Swan. I don't know if that's going to make you want to read it, but I'll admit I enjoyed it. So yeah, you got your mystery, you got your cheesy romance story, especially considering the fact that she's talking to an astronaut. Yeah, and I enjoyed reading the author's notes where she explained where she got the inspiration from for certain parts of the story, and it was just like, of course it was based on something real, because otherwise this would just be completely bonkers as a storyline. But they always say, you know, the things that are actually inspired by real are probably the craziest stories. And this is a pretty crazy story. But I loved it. Yeah, Christmas Under the Stars, Karen Swan. If you're looking for something that's got a bit of cheese but it's not completely fully Christmassy-fied, then I think this is the one for you. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. Stay safe everybody. Love you all. Bye.